Alright, welcome to my breakdown on how to get the Grandmaster speed killing time at Raksha of under a minute 15 seconds. I'm going to break down the rotation ability by ability, slowing down the clips if need be, and then I'll play a full speed kill with light commentary at the end. Here are my ranged perks. For my relic setup, I'm using Heightened Senses for 110% Adrenaline, Berserker's Fury, or the Darok relic, and my utility relic of choice is the mobile relic Shadow's Grace. Quick notes on my preset, I'm starting with my magic dual wields equipped as I'll be stalling Tsunami off of PBM hub dummies, and also be using the Soulfire special attack in the final phase. I have 4 EOF amulets, SGB, ECB, Dark Bow, and Zamorak Bow. I think the first 3 are pretty mainstream, but Zamorak Bow is sort of like a fancier snapshot. Arrows, I'll be using Wen and Full arrows, as well as Death Spore arrows. This rotation also relies on the ability to Wen Spore. Wen Sporing is a mechanic where when using a multi-hitting ability like Gricko, you can benefit from the effects of Wen arrows and Death Spore arrows at the same time. This is most often done with Gricko. To do so, you'll want to start off on Wen arrows, press Gricko, and swap to Death Spores in the same tick. If done properly, you'll have gained stacks for both arrows. Let's start the fight now. Start at Wars, stalling Tsunami off a dummy. To do this, cast Tsunami while being out of range of the dummy and clicking under your feet. Get back to full adrenaline with the crystal, then enter the Raksha instance. I like to dive to this circle texture on the floor, then place my dummy. Target cycle to it and release the Tsunami by pressing any magic auto attack button. In this case, Blood Barrage on my bar. That releases Tsunami, and at the same time I'll switch to my Bolg and use Gricko with Wen arrows to build some stacks. Use Dazing Shot to build more stacks, then disassemble the dummy. Wait until the GCD ends. Wait 2 more ticks, then surge into Raksha. Use Death Swiftness, drink your A-Pot, anticipate for timing, ECB spec right after that. Target cycle Raksha, use Smoke Cloud plus Gricko. Rapid Fire, then Bolg spec. Use Snapshot, and then Dark Bow. Ideally, you phase P1 here. Now for the second phase, aka the hardest phase of the fight. Wen Spore Gricko, switch to full arrows, and then Tendril. You want to do that because you'll likely have gained full Death Spore stacks here, so you don't want to waste those on Tendril. Try and be mindful of your HP and the rock dodging here as well. Switch back to Wen arrows and then Dazing Shot. Switch again to Death Spore arrows and cast Incendiary Shot. Here I like to switch to my full arrow quiver, while switching to my ECB amulet as my next ability is going to be a full arrow Dark Bow spec. Switch to Wen arrows and Gricko to build back more stacks. Then go into a rapid fire. In this clip I got bad adrenaline from my Gricko, so I had to use my Limitless ability. Ideally you're phasing into the third phase with or during your rapid fire. Now the third phase. This one's rotation is much simpler compared to the last phase. Snapshot, then Saren God Bow, then Dark Bow. Ideally you'll hit the phase HP with the Dark Bow, but you can see in my clip it's just a little bit off, so I use Gricko to hope for more crits that will let me start P4 with high adrenaline. Ideally, you want to be phasing into P4 no later than 40 seconds. I think anything between 35 and 40 is pretty ideal. When phase 4 starts, we should still be on Wen arrows from the previous phase, use Corruption Shot on Raksha, then switch to your magic dual wields. As you're walking into the boss, use Ingenuity the Human Sigil and then Soulfire weapon spec. You want to InGen this so it does full damage. If you're low adrenaline, however, you'd want to skip this Soulfire spec and replace it with the Dragon Breath. Afterwards, use Concentrated Blast and then Tsunami. It's going to be a 4-stack Tsunami. Switch back to your Bolg and Wen Spore Gricko. This is where Grandmaster speed kills go to die. If you're unlucky with the Death Spore arrows here, you can try and improvise with piercing shots and basics, but more likely than not, your Grandmaster timer dream is dead, and you'll just have to settle for a strong master kill, around a minute 25 or so. You just gotta hope that you're lucky next time. So after you Wen Spore Gricko here, play around your stacks until you have the free ability. So in this case, I got 3 stacks, then I used Piercing Shot, hoping to get 2 more stacks. I got 2 more stacks, but I still did another basic ability that I actually did not need to do. As soon as you have your 5 stacks, place your Death Swiftness. Once your Death Swiftness is down, use ECB spec. Here there are 2 options. Number 1 is what you see here. If you have a good amount of time before the tail swipe, you can use Wen arrows, then rapid fire, and dump your EOF specs. Option 2, if you don't have a lot of time before tail swipe, you want to switch to full arrows, use Bolg spec, switch back to Wen arrows, use Gricko, dodge the tail swipe, then you can move back in and use rapid fire and dump EOF specs. So in this kill, I have 2 Raksha autos before the tail swipe, so I opted to go right into rapid fire. After rapid fire, the rotation is very easy to remember since it's basically just dumping EOF specs. I went with a Zamorak Bow first, followed by Saren Godbow, followed by Darkbow. To kill the boss now, you may have to improvise your last couple abilities. In any event, switch to full arrows now and dump whatever strongest abilities your adrenaline will allow. Either Darkbow again, or Limitless Snapshot, then Tendril. In my case here, I did Darkbow, Gricko, and there you have it. There's the rotation breakdown for the Grandmaster Raksha timer. So now let's watch the full speed kill. Alright, starting the fight at Wars, getting full adrenaline, then I'm gonna click the dummy to target it, cast Tsunami to stall it, click back on the crystal to get my adrenaline back up, go through the Raksha portal, start the instance. I like to dive around this circle mark, target cycle, release my Tsunami, switch to Bulg, use Gricko, use Dazing, 2 ticks after, surge in, use Death Swiftness, anticipate to kill a little time, ECB spec, target cycle, Smoke Cloud, Gricko, go into Rapid Fire. After Rapid Fire, I'm going to use Bulg, Snapshot, and then Darkbow. Ideally it phases here. In this kill it does. We even get a little bit of a pre-phase. When Spore Gricko, full Tendril. When Dazing, Death Spore and Send. Switch to full arrows and ECB OF. Then I'm going to use full arrow Darkbow, switch back to When arrows, use a Gricko. Ideally I get a Dren. This time I didn't, so I Limitless Rapid. And then when P3 starts, I'm going to use Snap, SGB, Debo, and then Gricko to build back up my adrenaline. I got pretty good adrenaline here. I hit phase HP at around 36 seconds, entering P4 at about 40 seconds. Gonna attack Raksha, use Corruption, switch to my Mage dual wield, Soulfire spec, Concentrated Blast, and Tsunami. When Spore Gricko, play around the Death Spore stacks, try to get to 100, then use Death Swiftness. I have time here, so I'm gonna go for ECB, switch back to When arrows, start my Rapid Fire, and then start dumping EOF specs after that. So the order I chose is to do Zamorak Bow, followed by SGB, followed by Darkbow. And then to finish off the boss, I switched to my full arrows, did one more Darkbow, and then a Gricko. Had I not had to use my Limitless in the earlier phase, I maybe could have done Limitless Snapshot. So could it have been a little bit faster? Maybe, but was it still a Grandmaster speed kill? Absolutely. So there you have it. There's my full rotation breakdown for the Raksha Grandmaster speed kill. If it was helpful, be sure to subscribe, as I'll be making videos like this for every single boss's Master and Grandmaster speed time. Share it with a friend and leave me a comment. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.